Hey guys, it's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Wanted to do a quick video talking about Agony. So admittedly, I have the original Xbox One. I don't have the S, and I definitely don't have the X. So I don't think this game would benefit from the X. I don't think it was updated to do that, but I do have some issues with the game that it may just be an optimization thing. It may be because of my console, but I think it's an optimization thing. So, Agony was a game that everyone was really looking forward to back before it came out, and the reviews just beat the hell out of it. No pun intended. And I gave it a shot. I had a friend who had a copy. I borrowed it from him. I thought it was okay. I was interested to play more of it. Didn't want to spend a lot, and ended up getting it for like $5. So, Agony is a game where you're this lost soul who ends up in hell. You don't know who you are or why you're there, and you go on this walking simulator through hell, dodging demons and solving puzzles. That's kind of the best way for me to put it. The graphics are really nice. The game looks great. It has great ideas. The imagery is really evil and dark and excellent. I really enjoyed that. The puzzles, not so much. Most of the time, it's finding an item and putting it somewhere, or using your finger with blood to draw like a sigil or like a painting, and having to figure out what sigil you need to open up certain doors. They did streamline it a little bit, and there is a button you can push on your controller to give you a hint of where to go next because the world is so big that it's sort of hard to know where to go, and you can kind of just get lost looking around. The there is no fighting per se. It's really more you running or hiding from these demons that can kill you. One of the cool aspects of the game, which sort of gets mundane by the end, is you can jump into other people's bodies. So you start off in this one guy's body, but then if you die, you can jump into other people's bodies, or even later on into demons' bodies, and they have different little abilities that you can use to get through the level, or to kill people, or do certain things. I wasn't a huge fan of that. I also wasn't a fan of the stealth mechanic. I felt like most of the time I just avoided the enemies, ran past them, hid. I didn't really enjoy the whole like going at things slowly. And because there are areas that you can get killed in very easily or have to start over and over and over again, I really wanted to take in the atmosphere. I felt like the atmosphere was good and the backgrounds were creepy and interesting, but I couldn't because I was focusing on running away from these enemies or whatnot. I did die a lot. There is an option in the menus that you reach these checkpoints that save your game during each of the levels, and there's a few in each level. There's 4 levels, and it looks like a bunch of hands reaching out of a mirror. And when you walk up to it, the hands just fall off and like rip apart. But if you leave the option about the save points enabled, after 3 deaths, it goes back to the previous checkpoint, which kind of sucks. So I turned that off. I did see there was an easy mode, but for some reason I wasn't able to pick it. I was only able to pick normal mode. I don't know why. Once you beat the game, there's a Succubus mode, which lets you go through the game very fast as a succubus. Those are like naked, evil demon women that you encounter throughout the game. They're much faster and stronger and have different abilities. So it sort of changes the gameplay and feels like a similar game, but new in a sense as well. There are 7 different endings. I got 2 of them, the normal ending and this other sort of secret ending that you get for just kind of waiting around an area for 5 minutes just to see what it was like. I thought the story was fairly intriguing, and I think that if you are interested in religion or the Bible or dark imagery, you'll probably like the story and the imagery, sort of reminiscent of something like Dante's Inferno. By the end of the game, I read up on some of it and pieced together what the ending was and what had happened. It's pretty much about the apocalypse and this red goddess that you're following throughout the game, looking to merge Earth realm and hell and kind of have her run on the earth and massacre and kill people. So that's the gist of it. The other thing was I thought the controlling was pretty bad. It felt slow and sluggish and sort of awkward. There's a lot of, what do they call that when the game sort of has, like, it's not clipping, it's where it can't keep up and it sort of has tearing. There was a lot of tearing in the game and messed up visuals and slowdown. So I felt like it just wasn't optimized well. Do I think it deserved the beating that the game got? No. I think it was an okay game that could have been good had it been optimized better and had some more interesting things happen. By the end of the game, I sort of had enough, and I think most people will feel that way as well. The jumping in from soul, your souls from body to body loses its luster after a little while. The hide and seek gameplay loses its luster after a little while. The painting of sigils and the finding things. It's also a collectathon. You can get tons of different statues in the game that I think unlock things. There's paintings you can look at that unlocks things. And then there's these apples that look like vaginas that you crush in your hand and gives you a skill point, and then you can unlock little like skills like get hit once without dying automatically, walk around the level and be quieter so that demons don't really hear you initially. So there are little things you can unlock, but it almost seems like an afterthought. I think overall it's a decent game, but it's not good and it's not bad. It's just kind of meddling. Overall, the imagery was cool and I enjoyed it. I'm glad I played through it. I don't think I'll necessarily go back to it, and I don't think I'll necessarily go back for the other endings, but I think they were trying to go for this cool thing and they almost got it, but not really. So for $5, it was worth it, but I wouldn't pay anything more than like $10 to play this game. I think anything under that is good. I will say they have, I think it's, what is it, Mastermind Studios? Is that what it's called? Mad Mind Studios have really tried to keep up on their promises and release a lot of patches and updates and add-ons and things to the game that to really, round it out and make it better. So kudos to them for doing that. Hopefully their next game that comes out is better than this one. But yeah, check it out if you like what I've said. And thank you guys for watching. It's Vampire Mike from Sega CD Universe. Be good.